seconds again. On coupe models, the key fob also serves as a remote for the passenger's door if your PKE system is in the driver's door only mode or if it is turned off. Simply press the door button to unlock the passenger side. It also has a button to operate the rear hatch. On Corvette convertible, the fob only has a door button for the passenger side. Finally, if the key is fully in the ignition, PKE prevents you from locking your keys in the car. Next, let's review Corvette's instrument cluster and controls. To the right of the digital speedometer, you'll see analog gauges that provide quick reference readouts for oil pressure, oil temperature, coolant temperature, and voltage. When you want exact digital readouts, use the Gauges button on the trip monitor to cycle through readings for oil temperature, coolant temperature, and volts. The trip monitor can provide you with an array of valuable readouts. Please refer to your owner's manual for a complete overview of trip monitor functions. You'll also notice that at the top of the trip monitor, there's a small electronic eye, which adjusts instrument panel readouts for the best visibility. All Corvettes are also equipped with a standard engine oil life monitor. It measures engine temperature and revolutions to calculate the approximate life expectancy of your motor oil. The change oil light will illuminate next to the tachometer to signal the need for an oil change. When the oil is changed, reset the oil life monitor as follows. Turn the ignition to the on position, but do not start the car. Then press the English metric button on the trip monitor. Within 5 seconds, press the English metric button a second time. Within 5 seconds of that, press the Gauges button and hold it in. The change oil light will begin flashing. Keep the Gauges button pressed until the change oil light stops flashing and goes out. This takes about 10 seconds. The oil life monitor is now reset. Please remember, however, this feature only serves as a reminder of the need for service. Always change your oil as recommended in the owner's manual, even if the change oil light has not yet come on. And you must reset the oil life monitor each time you change the oil. Please also remember that your car's engine is factory filled with synthetic motor oil, and it is recommended for all oil changes. Located next to the trip monitor is the Driver Information Center. Your owner's manual has complete descriptions of what all the DIC lights mean and what you should do if they signal a need for service to one of the systems. There will be times when you'll notice the ABS active light come on. For example, if you're on a washboard road or changing lanes in the snow, the light may appear because the computer senses speed differences between the wheels. When all 4 wheels are again rotating at the same speed, the light will go out. Corvette's acceleration slip regulation traction control system is automatically turned on each time you start the car. You'll know the times when ASR is functioning by the feedback you feel in the accelerator pedal and the ASR active light on the DIC. ASR might also activate briefly if you drive over a railroad crossing or other bumpy surface. When ASR activates, cruise control is automatically disengaged and must be manually reset. The on-off switch for ASR is located on the left-hand side of the instrument panel, just above the light control. When you turn it off, the ASR off light illuminates on the DIC. And if the system needs to be checked, the service ASR light will illuminate. Features that all Corvette sound systems share on their cassette players, as well as the CD player on the Gold Series system, include a search button that advances to the next selection, a repeat button that automatically replays the previous selection, and a scan function that plays the first 8 seconds of each selection. When the tape or CD reaches the piece you want to hear, simply push the scan button again. The search and scan buttons work for the cassette and CD players only. To search for the next radio station, simply press the auto button and then either the up or down arrow on the tune button. The radio will automatically stop at the next station. Setting the clock is a simple procedure. First, push the set button. The indicator light will glow for 5 seconds. Then use the tune down arrow to set the hour and the tune up arrow to set the minutes. Corvette convenience features include an express down driver's window that's operated by pressing the power window switch in the down direction and then releasing it. And a delayed accessory bus that allows you to operate the sound system and windows for several minutes after the car has been turned off or until a door is opened. There's also a turn signal reminder chime if the indicator has been left on for more than 1 mile of driving. Finally, Corvette's parking brake, which is located to the left of the driver's seat, operates as follows. To engage the parking brake, depress the brake pedal and pull up on the parking brake lever. Then lower the lever to its original position. To release the parking brake, depress the brake pedal and pull up on the parking brake lever until you can push in the release button. Then, holding the release button in, lower the lever. Corvette is an exciting car to own and drive. Your ability to operate its features to their fullest potential can greatly increase your enjoyment of your Corvette. A Corvette kept in good condition is destined to become a collector's item. That's one reason why many Corvette owners impeccably maintain their cars. A more common reason, though, is that Corvette owners simply have a lot of fun keeping their cars looking good and running well. There are many things you can do to your new Corvette that will preserve its great looks over time. When washing your Corvette, use only mild liquid hand soap or specially formulated car washes. Do not wash your Corvette in direct sunlight, and avoid using dishwashing soap or stronger cleansers, which can be abrasive to the car's base coat clear coat paint finish. Begin by wetting down the car to remove any excess dirt and debris. Then wash the car in sections with a soft, non-abrasive cotton cloth. Rinse the car off thoroughly soon after applying the soapy wash water. And then dry it with a clean, soft chamois. If you own a convertible, be sure to clean the top often. Use a mild soap in lukewarm water. Harsh cleansers could damage or discolor the fabric. Clean one area of the roof surface at a time with a soft bristled brush, supporting that section underneath with your other hand. Then rinse the roof thoroughly, removing all soap from the fabric. Be sure to let it dry completely before lowering it. A damp top can wrinkle, and trapped water can cause stains or mildew. Also remember not to adhere any objects, such as temporary license tabs or stickers, to the glass backlight, because they might damage the defogger grid when removed. Corvette's aluminum wheels have been treated with a protective coating that resists mars and scratches. Clean the wheels with mild soap and a soft bristled brush. Do not use strong cleansers, stiff bristled brushes, or any type of chrome polish. If you choose to use a rubber protectant on your tires, first make sure the tires are dry, and then apply the protectant to a sponge or cloth first, and wipe the tires, avoiding contact with the wheels. In order to allow ample time for the new paint surface to fully cure, do not wax your Corvette for the first 60 days. When you do wax, use only non-abrasive products that are approved for base coat clear coat paint finishes. By masking off the porous surfaces of the door handles, you can ensure that they remain free of any excess wax, which can be difficult to remove. Apply the wax with light circular motions. Forcing the wax into the finish will often dull it or leave swirl marks. If you plan to use a power buffer, only oscillating types are recommended. Once you've finished waxing your Corvette, use a detailing brush to remove any excess polish around emblems, trim, seams, and parking lamps. The seats, door panels, center console, and top of the instrument panel can be easily cleaned with mild soap and warm water. Parking your Corvette coupe on a level surface makes the removal and replacement of the roof panel quick and easy. A ratchet is housed in the center console to remove bolts, which are located behind the front sun visors and along the back of the roof panel. When stowing the panel, keep it top up and make sure it fits securely into the brackets on each side of the rear stowage compartment. Then push forward and carefully lower the front edge into the safety latch. In order to prevent damage to the weather strip, always close the rear hatch glass from directly above the striker assembly, located in the center along the edge of the glass. Now you're ready for Corvette Coupe's unique open-air ride and feel. When taking the top down on convertible models, first lower the windows. Then loosen the Velcro strips at the rear of each side window opening and release the two front latches. Next, pull the release handle that's on the underside of the parcel shelf behind the driver's seat. Then lift up on the back of the roof and push the lid release button next to the handle. Then open the lid. There's also a lid release button in the center console. The top folds down easily. Remember to return the front latches to their closed positions once the top is lowered. And the compartment cover is fully integrated into the car's body. The clamshell hood sheathes the heart of Corvette, an engine that's one in a long line of legendary power plants. Corvette's engine compartment has all fluid level checkpoints, clearly labeled for easy identification. By checking your fluid levels regularly, you can ensure that your Corvette is always in top running condition. If you clean engine components, do so with only a wet cloth. Do not use alkaline-based cleansers. They can discolor aluminum. When closing the hood, simply line up the upper and lower portions of the strut and release the hood from roof height or about 20 inches above the cowl. It will latch automatically. You should also check the tire pressure of your Corvette's Goodyear Eagle GSC tires often. Because of the tire's low-profile design, it can be difficult to detect underinflation just by looking at them. Check the pressure of all four tires if the available low tire pressure warning system illuminates the low tire pressure light on the Driver Information Center display. Because of the GSC's asymmetrical tread pattern, plus the fact that the rear wheels and tires are wider than those on the front of most Corvette models, the tires cannot be rotated. Should you need to change a tire unexpectedly, the jack is located in the storage compartment behind the passenger seat. And there's a socket designed specifically to remove the wheel lug nuts, along with a lug nut key. Remember to provide both to the technician who services your vehicle. The lug wrench is secured to the floor behind the driver's seat. Corvette's jacking points are shown in this diagram. Because Corvette is a high-performance machine, you're encouraged to have routine maintenance and service performed by your Chevrolet dealer. Chevrolet technicians undergo special training that enables them to expertly service your Corvette. Chevrolet Corvette. Throughout automotive history, the name has been synonymous with performance and sophistication that add up to the highest level of driving enthusiasm anywhere. By properly caring for your new Corvette, you're helping preserve the legend of the true American sports car.
More than 3,500 components from the top suppliers worldwide converge in Bowling Green, Kentucky, where dedicated employees ply their trades. In a building that covers 1 million square feet and contains more than 7 miles of conveyors. These are the elements that work together to produce the Corvette, the world's premier sports car. The pride of Chevrolet comes together on the line at the Corvette assembly plant in Bowling Green, the only plant in the world charged with producing America's dream car.
If you think about the Corvette as the ultimate expression of automotive art, you'll watch the employees, each and every one takes a great deal of pride in the work that they do. They inspect their own work as well as the work of other people. They do that as part of the process to ensure that each and every Corvette that leaves this plant is as perfect as it can possibly be.
The building of Corvette is a deliberate, almost painstaking process. Each vehicle takes more than 5 days to build, and quality is foremost at every point along the assembly line. That quality begins with Corvette's rigid uniframe construction. 53 robotic welders produce its strong skeleton, applying more than 1,200 spot welds in a matter of minutes. Another 120 inches of precision welds are carefully done by hand. The uniframe acts as a steel cage, which provides structural integrity and contributes greatly to the vehicle's overall safety. The result is one of the world's most structurally sound sports cars. Belying the strength of the steel uniframe is another of Corvette's trademarks, its sleek fiberglass body. Before the fiberglass panels are installed, they're wiped with a special solvent that unmasks any hidden defects on the surface. The panels are then attached to the uniframe with adhesives applied by hand. The actual bonding is done by machine to ensure precise adhesion. 10 major panels are joined to the uniframe, including rocker panels, the deck lid and halo, and the hood. Many of Corvette's body panels are lightweight fiberglass, allowing the coupe to maintain its trim curb weight of approximately 3,300 pounds. To ensure that the body panel assembly meets rigid design specifications, point check inspections are conducted regularly throughout the day. During these inspections, technicians use highly specialized instruments, checking body panels to guarantee that fit and alignment are exact on 3 different planes. Once the body is assembled and inspected for quality, the painting process begins. First, the body is prepared to provide a smooth surface. The painting is done with a combination of robotic and hand spraying, and each vehicle receives 6 coats of finish, 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of enamel base coat or color coat, and 2 coats of clear coat. The entire process takes approximately 14 hours per vehicle and culminates in a detailed inspection of every car. While its lustrous and durable body is assembled, the core of Corvette performance is simultaneously coming together. The car's chassis, drivetrain, and suspension are assembled at various points along the line. The independent rear suspension features a 5-link design, a glass epoxy monoleaf spring, limited slip differential, and many aluminum components. Like the rear suspension, the front suspension is also independent, utilizes many lightweight aluminum components and a monoleaf spring. It also features a tubular steel stabilizer bar and Bilstein shock absorbers. Once the front and rear sub-assemblies are complete, they're each joined to the engine and then the drive shaft. Coupes and convertibles are powered by a 300 horsepower LT1 engine, built specifically for Chevrolet by GM Powertrain in Flint, Michigan. At the heart of the ZR1 beats a truly dominant engine, the LT5, designed by General Motors in conjunction with Lotus and built by Mercury Marine in Stillwater, Oklahoma. The LT5 launches ZR1 down the road with an incredible 405 horsepower. With that kind of power, it's no wonder Corvette's interior resembles the cockpit of a fighter jet. Corvette's slick body and sturdy chassis are then married, quite literally in fact, to form a nearly complete vehicle. At the marriage area, the body slowly drops down from above to be mated with the chassis. The two are joined at 14 separate contact points to assure a perfect match. Wheels and tires are also married, so to speak, at another location within the plant. Corvette's Goodyear GSC asymmetrical tires are teamed with directional 17-inch aluminum wheels and then perfectly mounted and balanced. First, there's the uniformity machine, which simulates the tire on the road, checking for tire integrity to avoid future and unwanted vibrations. The Bowling Green plant is unique in that it checks 100% of its tires for uniformity. Next is the dynamic balance, which determines exactly how much weight should be added to the inner and outer flanges of the wheel and precisely where the weight should be placed. And finally, the static balance, where the weights are double-checked to within 1/4 ounce of accuracy. Once the wheels are ideally balanced, they're ready to be mounted on the vehicles. At the startup area, gasoline is added to the tank, the fuel pump is turned on, the system is primed, and each Corvette is fired up for the first time. Now the car is ready to roll. The end of the assembly line marks the first time Corvette's tires touch the ground. Vehicles are driven off the line and over a series of speed bumps to help settle the front and rear suspensions. All four wheels are precisely aligned, contributing to Corvette's responsive handling. Then, because Corvette owners demand perfection, the vehicles undergo an extensive battery of quality checks and performance tests. There's the sonic test that checks critical seals to see if sound escapes from the passenger compartment. The water test, which douses the car from several angles to check for possible leaks. And for many of the vehicles, the dynamometer, to ensure engines are functioning correctly and to measure their emission levels. All this is done to provide Corvette buyers with an ownership experience unmatched by lesser vehicles.
Corvette Action Center, Jerry.
Part of that experience includes customer assistance at the factory. Enter the Corvette Action Center.
Models, there's a feature that allows you to operate your power windows or your radio for up to 15 minutes after the ignition.
Located in the plant, the Action Center answers approximately 150 product-related questions per day. Of course, your local Chevrolet dealer should always be your first source of expertise. However, if your dealer is unable to answer your question, you can reach the Corvette Action Center at area code 502-745-8101 or 1-800-457-VETT. Structural integrity, remarkable power, ultra-high quality, seductively attractive. The world's most distinguished sports car, built for the world's most discerning buyers. Ongoing testing and evaluation are hallmarks of the commitment to quality behind Corvette. Throughout the year, cars are continually being scrutinized by engineers, plant personnel, and other members of the Corvette team to help ensure customer satisfaction and enthusiasm.
How many guys haven't been on one of these drive audits before? Okay. We won't go through a lot of stuff today because I expected most of you would be familiar with what we're doing here. The pattern we're following is pretty much identical to what we've done for about the last 2 years.
You want to read this and do the lighting checks?
In this week-long activity that takes place early in the year before the first production vehicle is built, engineering groups are taking 10 1994 pilot vehicles that come off the Bowling Green assembly line for extensive audit drives. During the drives, each Corvette undergoes a thorough evaluation. Everything from engine performance and handling to top removal and tire changing, all to help ensure the production cars are right when they begin rolling off the line for customers.
Pilot is a pre-production vehicle. You're proving out the process, you're proving out the parts to make sure that they're all correct.
The 250-mile trip leaves the plant at 7 a.m. and begins crisscrossing the Kentucky countryside.
Try to encompass as many driving situations as we can. We start off on the expressway. We go through several little towns, so we get in some traffic. We deteriorate in road quality as the day goes along and end up in fairly secondary types of roads. There's some of the route is relatively flat, and then there's some hills and curves and a lot of variation in the type of road.
At pre-planned stops along the route, team members have the opportunity to perform their assigned tasks, discuss other items they've noticed while driving, and compare notes. Many times the audit drive is the first time new systems and components can be evaluated on cars that were assembled under regular plant production procedures. This year, a great deal of attention is being focused on the instrument panel and door trim.
Well, we spent the last year working real hard on fits and finishes, and this is a final buy-off to make sure that we have all our fits and finishes in line and that it'll meet customer expectations.
But it's not just the new components that receive careful examination.
We're going to do a steering evaluation, lock to lock, what we do on that portion of the blacktop. And what we do is we're going to turn the wheel to lock on one side, and we're listening for steering moans, interferences, tire interferences, and we'll turn the other way, so it's like a figure eight.
The audit drives are purposely designed so Corvette team members can experience and evaluate the vehicles in real-world situations through the customer's eyes. Other tests conducted on this